All right, everyone, welcome back to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Vincent Borelli with us. He's the co-author of the Better Business Book and a financial representative with Living Legacy Financial Group, and is also incredibly handsome, and those last words are his, not mine. Welcome, Vincent.
Hey, Tyler, how are you, bud?
So we'll dive right into the first question. First question is what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
So, when I was thinking about all this stuff, I don't really have one story that stands out, but I can tell you that general theme that has really defined my life and who I am is definitely honesty is always best. I remember when I was younger, and I don't just mean honesty with other people. I mean honesty with yourself, what your passion is, what your goals are. For a long time, I spent a lot of my life trying to be something that I wasn't until I was like, what do I like to do? Who am I as a person? And I feel like when you have that conversation, that's sort of your transition into adulthood and really who you want to be going forward in life.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
So in terms of the industry with helping people, it's really helping people understand economic and human life value. Just providing, because a lot of people, when they think about human life value and so have you, they think about the emotions they run through. What I do in my industry is I help people solve the monetary portion. There's nothing, for example, when you lose a loved one, there's real no cure for that, right? That sort of never goes away. But my job is to take that monetary hang up off your plate. And then in terms of my
Sorry, go ahead.
And then in terms of industry in itself and working in my industry, it really comes down to two things. It's persistence and diligence. Really, you're going to face a lot of rejections, right? It's going to feel like you're that 12-year-old kid talking to girls in middle school again. Just a lot of rejection. But the trick is you just got to keep that high activity and power through, and that's how you get successful.
And so maybe this ties along, but what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily like industry specific.
Not industry specific. I would say forming good habits. Motivation is a fleeting thing, right? You have that day where you want to wake up and make 500 phone calls, but you also have that day where you wake up, maybe you're feeling lazy, maybe you didn't get a good night's sleep, maybe you're 21 and hungover, but those days you don't want to get out of bed. I would say success comes from disciplining good habits. So even on your bad days, you're still working towards your goals just because you do the same thing every day so much. And I feel like that's what a lot of really successful high-end people will tell you. Is just they haven't changed their habits since day one. They didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They just kept doing what they know works and kept it up.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I'd say don't be in a rush to grow up. You don't want to be, because you never want to be in a position where all of a sudden you're 30 and you're looking back and saying, wow, I wish I did that when I was, 23, 24. Yeah, that's, a lot of people, I feel like, I don't know if it's social media, but I feel like a lot of people nowadays compete with their peers, right? Everybody has that one friend who got that job right out of college making six figures for IBM. And I'm telling you, I'm a hardworking guy, but I probably think about the movie Cocktail twice a week. Like, I don't think being a bartender in Miami for a summer would be that bad. So, Don't be afraid. don't be afraid to have a little fun. But, just the real world can wait. Just chase what you want to do.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
This is honestly, with this question, this is the cheesiest answer I'm going to give, but it is because it's so played out. But just have a passion. And I know it. You hear a ton of people say, like, don't chase a job for a paycheck, but you chase whatever you love and make it work. And that's so true. And to blend it in, let's say you're chasing something that doesn't have good pay. Let's say, like, it's either you're like, let's say you're a magician. Either you're David Blaine or we've never heard of you. So it's okay to have a 9-to-5 job that you don't care about, as long as you're spending 5 to 10 chasing what you love. Just as long as you have some sort of passion in your life, you're going to be a pretty happy person because you're doing what you want to do at some point.
And what's the best book you've read besides the Better Business book? And what was the number one thing you learned from it?
Well, my chapter is obviously the best thing ever written. I'd probably put it right up there with Hemingway. But I would say I'm a big Stephen King fan, so I really love 11/22/63. It's about the time travel and the JFK assassination. And without spoiling it, let's just say, just because you can do something, make sure you should think about whether or not you should do it.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
So my favorite quote is, do what you can with what you have where you are. It's by Teddy Roosevelt. And the truth, it sort of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's never compare your life to someone else's. Everybody starts out differently. Some people, I like to think about it like playing cards. Like you might be dealt a 2-3 while the guy sitting next to you has pocket aces. The idea is, you're in the same boat. You're both trying to win that hand. So you can't be jealous of the guy next to you. You have to work with what you got.
And thank you so much for coming on, man. The last question I have is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Best place for people to find me online? Best place to find me online is I'm pretty big on Instagram and Facebook. Just if you can look up Vincent Borelli, I'm wearing a suit with a glass of scotch. You can't miss me. I'm also, as you mentioned, incredibly handsome, so you should be able to pick me out. And then I'm also very big on LinkedIn. So honestly, out of all the three of them, LinkedIn's probably the best.
Great, man. Thank you again for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.